Hello, welcome to a video about the Grand Valley layout. I just wanted to share with you guys some things what I learned about laying the track down, ballasting, and wiring. So I just completed doing the tunnel sections, part of the tunnel sections, ballasting, and also some of the wiring. One thing that I found for sure is I made the mistake of saving the wiring for afterwards, and that is a big mistake, I think. You can see that I've wired in some of these places that join, where they join, and I'm also soldering together every track connection, with the exception of above and below these switches, because I plan on replacing those later with electric switches. So one thing that I found really helpful is to I'm starting to wire all of these from underneath. I'm not sure if this will focus here. You can see I'm wiring it on the bottom, or excuse me, soldering it on the bottom of these track connectors, and that way it's totally flush and there's nothing on top that's going to impede the wheels going across. So what I found with some of these solders that I did afterwards is that it leaves a pretty good clump of solder on there. It's hard, at least I'm not a great solderer. Now it's difficult to get that really clean and flush. So I ended up having to do a bunch of filing and a bunch of sanding to get all those places where I soldered wire on. So you gotta, I think doing it the way I'm doing it here, by soldering wires on underneath, is just a really clean way of doing it, and I think it'll work out a lot better. And the other thing is, definitely don't save your wiring for after you lay the track bed on. I melted a few holes in the plastic, and definitely don't wait until you ballast to do your wiring. So that's just what I've found is really helpful. Okay, so ballasting, I've learned a couple of things. I initially got this little hopper here that is supposed to aid you in ballasting. You fill the hopper up with your ballast and you can kind of tap it along. It does an okay job of distributing the ballast, but actually I'm not going to use it anymore. It leaves a hell of a mess on the sides of the track and everything. I just didn't like the way it distributed. I'm a little more finicky about my modeling. I like everything to be very precise. So I'm going to do this next section here tonight by hand and really clean it up prior to gluing it. I'm going to lay down not foam tack glue, probably the scenic cement or Mod Podge along here first, and then put the ballast in and a little bit in between, and then go ahead and wet it down after I've cleaned it up, to more like this level here, and then wet it down with water and use your foam tack glue 3-to-1 watery mix and kind of soak it in with an eyedropper. I found the sprayer just gets it everywhere, and I don't like to have to come back and clean up later. So I think that's the route I'm going to go with this. And the other thing that you need to complete prior to what I didn't do up here, if you're going to weather the tracks, which I've seen a lot of people using this track painter for rust, to get the rust effect on the rails and the weathered ties, do that before you ballast also. That was another big mistake that I made up here. Is a lot harder to go back and paint it after the ballast, besides the ballast being in the way, there's glue on there too. So definitely do that first. Do your wiring first. I think it'll go a lot better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a lot more done on this project. I plan on doing a modified version of this layout. I'm doing a World War II theme with Patton's Third Army. I'm modifying the mountains. It's all going to be like it took place in Germany towards the end of the war. And yeah, really looking forward to that. I've got some really, really cool models and stuff, so I'll keep you posted on that. All right, thanks for watching.